Hello and good evening, brothers and sisters. It is Talcott Tuesday. Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, here to offer some, well, I was going to say daily, but I don't want to commit to that. Here to offer you some inspiration, hopefully some value, some entertainment in exchange for your time and your attention. I changed the time, so thank you to those who are joining already and to those who join at a different time. I'm exploring. Although admittedly, the time sounded like a great idea, 3:50 my time. Sounded like a good idea when I scheduled it. But then as the day progressed and I found myself still out running around until a few minutes ago, maybe I didn't think it through. But regardless, I did have some inspiration and made some notes that I'm sure I'll be reminded of. The thoughts today, though, were more of the same. Can you believe that we get to be? It's kind of a cool concept when you just like end it there. We get to be. Because we don't have to be. I mean, the universe and the world, it could go on without any one of us. But here we are. We get to be. And we get to be who we are, how we are each day. That's where the thoughts were taking me. It's like there's only one experience happening. I will only know of my experience. You will only know of your experience. And when I say experience, I mean the lifetime of time. So the thought I was having, and I remember hearing, for those who know, you know, Ralph Smart, Infinite Waters. He's a guy he's got a lot of subscribers on YouTube. Does some great inspiring messages. I remember he did a video a long time ago. I saw that it was along the lines of he's saying, I am you. I am you speaking to you, delivering the messages to you. I'm paraphrasing him, but there is only you. You are the center of the universe. So it's like I lived a lifetime learning what I did and doing what I did so that I could be here for you, sharing the things that I share today. And today I'll learn what I share today, just like you. Hey, Julie knows. Diving deep. Ralph Smart. Yeah, I hope to speak to him one day in the future too. Hey, HMFIC in charge, man. Steve, welcome, brother. And Christos, welcome, my friend. How are you today? Quantum Epic. Are you there? Hello, Christos.
Hey, Jack.
Hello, brother.
What's up, man?
What's going on with you? How
You don't have to let me on already. I know you just started, but I figured I line up backstage for when you get the panel going.
Hey, respect. Yeah, you know what? Let me flow a little bit. I didn't really have much set up, but I mean, honestly, but hey, whether you're there or not, this is the life I'm living, and humbly, we've each got to accept where we are in the greater scope of things. Because all we are is just, we are so many things, so many ways to describe it, but it's these comparisons, man. Society has divided and destroyed itself, right? The Bible says that a house divided will fall, and this everything is divided, and it's like insanity.
Mm-hmm.
What I've been learning is we got to learn how to relax, right? How to relax and just be you. Be the honest you, the truthful you, the Christ-like you, the pure one. And it's really easier than maybe it's easier than it sounds. It's easier than it's said. That's for sure. No, it's more challenging than it's said.
It's
Easy
a paradox,
to say.
isn't it, Jack? It's a paradox because it's in a way it's actually a lot easier than a lot of us make it out to be, you know.
Christos, I've been pushing myself on that to find out, what is real? What is true? And in the end, thank you. This is where I was trying to go with that thought. In the end, there's a ton of information. There's a ton of philosophies. There's a ton of explanations. There's a ton of information and evidence. But in the end, what does it matter? Right? We each get to decide what is true for us. And that's kind of scary. But at the
Totally.
same time, it is freedom.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Beautiful, Jack. Well, I'm glad I could help you get off on the right foot here. I actually also wanted to hop on just to say that I will get you in touch with our friend who we spoke on the other day,
Please.
and I don't know if you have your email like on your YouTube, but I can just drop a contact here in the private chat before I head out.
Hey, I've got the link tree thing. It's got all my info, my email.
Okay.
Actually, the only thing, fuck, maybe I'll put my phone number in it. I really don't care anymore. Hey, you know what? Here, I'll drop it back here too, just to make sure
Right
you've got
on.
it.
For sure, Jack. Yeah.
And respect. Hold on.
Cool. Yeah, man. I think there was something else I was gonna say, but I don't recall now. But yeah, the elect of God, definitely. I've been talking to him more recently, so I'm
Hey,
sure. Oh, what I was gonna say is just simply put, networking is an exciting thing. And, it should be an enjoyable process, expanding that web, your network of people, novel relations.
dude, I love that. Hey, I reached out to someone else today too. Um, you know, I'd love an opinion. Actually, I'll go to the chat too. I I saw this video earlier, and it's like just over 8 minutes on the loneliness epidemic, right? And
I
I
think I
thought
saw that was like recommended for me the other day. If it's the same video I'm thinking of, but continue.
it's uh, Sofo Archon. I'm not even sure how to properly say his name. Um, but I've kind of caught a few of his things from a distance, and I love the work he does. I actually sent him an email after seeing this today. I'd love to have conversations because what you're saying, man, we're at a unique time here. And whether it's unique or not, it is our time. This is our time to live, to create the lifetimes that we want. And man, I did the lifetime as a scared guy, obeying the rules. I even played the role of being a drunk and pretended I was a soldier for a while too. I mean, it's like, what the fuck? It's all we do is we take these jobs and put on different titles, different, not even jobs, right? We take on different relationships with things like whatever, people or jobs.
Belief systems, ideas.
Dude, yep. See, and actually, I am gonna play this. I don't know. I never know what I should be offering on these channels. I know a lot of people come for the chaos and the angry cut, what's gonna trigger
Right.
Jack today? You never
Uh-huh.
know, man.
Right.
Hey, I'm gonna play this, and all credit. I'll make sure the link and everything is in the description for him.
I think you have a lot of females specifically down in the chat that watch though that legitimately are like interested in your experience and your path and where you're going with this.
I think so too, and honestly, it is that I
I mean,
find
guys too, not just females, but
right.
yeah, you
Yeah,
hear me.
I got what you're saying. I may speed this up just a little bit though.
Why do so many people feel lonely, although we have
Oh,
access to a
oh yeah, it's Warren. He does have an accent too, but it's it's subtitled, and the messages are important. That's the key.
advanced technology that allows us to instantly communicate with each other? Hundreds of millions of us feel isolated. In the United Kingdom, for example, 60% of 18 to 34-year-olds report that they often feel lonely. And in the United States, 46% of the entire population say they are lonely on a regular basis. Loneliness,
Dude, that's how much was it? Almost half of the population says they feel lonely on a regular basis. And I know I spent a number of years feeling that way. So if there are, excuse me, if there are people who are catching this, feeling that loneliness that can sneak in, don't feel alone, okay? It's part of our experience, but hopefully tonight will be a reminder. There's communities and stuff being formed.
Jack, I'll be listening, but I need to head out here for the
Hey,
moment.
respect. Thanks for popping in, and yeah, come.
I'll be
Join
back.
again when able.
Yeah,
God bless.
yeah. If you got open panel going and stuff soon, I'll be here.
Respect. All right, I'm gonna get back to this anyway.
population say they are lonely on a regular basis. Loneliness, as you might know, sucks. To live in a world where you don't have anyone to genuinely connect with can be soul crashing. It can make you feel insecure, anxious, unimportant, and undeserving of love. And since the soul and the body are not separate, but intrinsically connected, what is hurting us psychologically is also hurting us physically. Research has revealed the detrimental effects of loneliness on our health. For example, a study found that suffering from chronic loneliness can be twice as deadly as obesity and as dangerous as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. Another study found that lonely people were 3 times more likely to catch the common cold than people who had plenty of healthy relationships. And yet another study found that isolated people were 2 to 3 times more likely to die during a 9-year period of time than highly connected people. One of the main reasons why loneliness is so harmful is that it tends to go hand in hand with high levels of stress, which has been shown to significantly weaken the immune system. And
Hey, I want to pop in on here for just to reinforce that connection and and greetings, Jessica Jane, Epic, Red 40, formerly Truth Not Lies. All of those who are joining, please, thank you for joining. This connection, though, it is important. Loneliness and stress. It seems like well, everything can seem different to others. But I remember the loneliness of the stress I was carrying when well, when I found myself in roles of leadership. I didn't understand the world or me, and I carried a lot of weight on my shoulder and a lot of stress. And that stress, man, it's an insecurity each of us can carry. It's stress. It's not a sign of weakness. It's not a sign of glory. It's not something to be proud of either. I remember being proud of my stresses, my worries. I didn't know how to relax. Man, I was miserable and I felt alone. So back to this. Recognize, maybe your loneliness is hidden by stress. Or maybe your stress is whatever. You know what I mean? Stress and loneliness, they definitely do go together.
And thus, to accelerate aging, as well as cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's, and all sorts of other diseases. Loneliness, therefore, is a serious public health issue, yet we rarely hear or talk about it, which itself is a crystal clear sign of social disconnection, a reflection of our modern world, wherein loneliness has become an epidemic in recent years. So, why do so many of us feel lonely nowadays? There are plenty of reasons, but at the root of the loneliness epidemic lies the cultural belief that we don't depend on each other. This belief is mainly the result of our economic system, which is largely based on the conversion of relationships into paid services.
I loved that point. That might be the whole reason I wanted to bring this up. Our current economic system, it turns relationships into transactions. We value our time based predominantly on economic value. Man, that's sick and twisted. Love, man. Love is the answer. Love is where we should be spending our time. And if you're feeling lonely, give yourself some love. Fill yourself with the love that's been denied to you. You'll feel better. But back to this, in this system.
You see, in this system, most of us are conditioned to think that we can buy everything we need without having to form ties to other people. Do you want to eat a delicious meal? Pay your local restaurant and it will be prepared for you. Do you feel the urge to have sex? Pay a prostitute and an attractive person will sleep with you. Do you want someone to look after your kids? Pay a nanny and she will help you out. Everything we desire is within our reach, we believe, provided that we have the money to pay for it. Therefore, as long as we work enough and earn enough, we will be able to satisfy our needs. In other words, we'll be independent, a word that implies personal success in our culture. Other cultures, however, considered this kind of independence as a sign of failure. In earlier times, people used to feel dependent on one another. They saw themselves as part of a community which they served and was serving them. If, let's say, someone wanted to move a very heavy object out of your house, but didn't live with someone who could offer a helping hand, she would ask her neighbors for help, rather than paying a company. Or if someone wanted to have fun, he would likely meet his friends and chat, sing, dance, play sports, or maybe create something together, instead of paying for entertainment. Being embedded in their communities, people felt much safer and happier. Not only did they have the support of their neighbors, but they also formed intimate relationships with them. Nowadays, most of us think that we don't need anyone. We pay strangers who can be easily replaced by other strangers for pretty much anything we need. Not surprisingly, the sense of community has almost completely disappeared. Each one of us feels like a tiny island in a vast ocean, separated from each other by the wild currents of a cold and indifferent existence. And the cost of this sense of separation is affecting everyone, some of us more, others less. But we all experience a certain degree of alienation and the insecurity, fear, and anxiety resulting from that. Our loneliness is further intensified by society's fixation on competition. You see, we are living in a scarcity-based economic system where money isn't enough to go around. In this system, more for one person means less for another, and one success means another's failure. Hence, nearly everyone is trying to outdo others in order to maximize their personal gain, something we learn to do from a very young age at school, competing with our peers for grades and external validation. Is it any wonder then that so many of us feel lonely? When we feel that our well-being is threatened by the success of others, how can we trust those around us? When we are hurt again and again by other people, how can we dare to open up our hearts, embrace others, and offer them a place in our lives? Quite the contrary, we prefer to insulate ourselves from the world in order to find protection from it. But the problem is, the more we seek security away from others, the more we lose it.
It's absolutely, it's ironic, but it's right in front of our face. The more we try to make ourselves feel safe and secure and protected from everything else, it doesn't work. You got to be able to feel secure wherever you are, as you are, and just prepare. But sorry to interrupt. Some of these points, I'm grateful here. Oops, cage. That's not what I thought would happen. There we go.
Yeah, what's up, Jack?
Hey, did you have anything to jump in? I'm going to get back to this. There's only a couple minutes left of it.
Yeah, just finish her up.
All right, man.
In order to find protection from it. But the problem is, the more we seek security away from others, the more we lose it. Because true security can only come from friendship and community. Whether we like to admit it or not, we all depend on each other. And there is nothing wrong with that. Just like we depend on the sun, the soil, and the air, we also depend on other people. In addition, we are all social beings with an inherent need to connect and share, not to hoard and compete. And contrary to what our culture has programmed us to believe, money can only buy us superficial, short-lasting substitutes of what we actually need. Yes, we can pay someone to prepare a meal for us, but would that be the same as a meal prepared by a person who sincerely cares for us? Yes, we can pay a band to play music for us, but would that be the same as a lover serenading us? And yes, we can pay a stranger to sleep with us, but would that be the same as sleeping with someone who knows us inside and out? I'm sure that everyone deep down knows the answer to those questions. Money can't buy us love and connection. Yet our belief that we don't need each other has made us stray from that truth. Once we wake up to it, we'll want to reach out to other people and start co-creating new social systems that will bring us together instead of bringing us apart.
What YouTube channel is that, Jack?
It's Sofo Archon. Here.
We're thinking about writing a movie script based off of your aspirations. You know, it's like a guy who, you know, he's trying to get to the UN. It's like a road trip across the U.S. to the UN. You know, and you know, a bunch of things could happen. It would kind of be like a comedy movie.
Dude, there are so many things that can be done. Snafu, is that your new one?
Yeah, I put it in your private chat. I did the video. I was thinking of you a lot when I did this video because I know your mission to the United Nations, the World Health Organization, and that. But I needed to show the optics on all levels. And yeah, if you want to play it, you're more welcome to. And it is interesting though, Jack, because I think you're on it. Like with what you're saying, the community, and what you're trying to do here. And with the other night when people were saying, like, oh, well, you just want, no, I see what you're doing, Jack. And he's actually stepping up, guys. Jack is stepping up.
Hey, hold on just a second.
Hey, Jack, I also had a question for you. What's that sigil or symbol on your necklace? What does that mean?
I believe it's the tree of life.
Oh, yeah, it does look like it. Yeah, it's hard to see.
Yeah. I've shown it before. As I understand it,
You're gonna become a Kabbalist now, Jack? You're in
no,
Malkuth. You're gonna go up to Keter. What's going on here?
as I understand it, the blue is Roman glass that was recovered in somewhere, Sumeria, something, and the piece was crafted by a Palestinian silversmith. So there was a couple of other pieces I bought with it. They've walked away, but hey, actually, that video Snafu did, wasn't that about symbolism?
See, Jack's a high level occultist. He's an adept at the Kabbalah, and he's doing magic on all of you right now. Look at him. Look at him in his mind doing magic. He's casting spells and shit.
I'm listening for the truth. And there's truth within those words.
It is, isn't it, you fucker? What kind of ritual have you been doing?
No, the only ritual I'm doing is the energies and intentions of love, man. Seriously. My mind has been blown. And Snafu, here, I dropped the link, I dropped the link in the chat. Snafu, no disrespect. I don't want that. I'm not feeling sharing it here. You're exposing.
Oh, that's fine. I appreciate you just sharing the link, dude. I appreciate that. That's fine.
And I encourage people, check it out. Check it. Number one, I enjoyed the editing. I love the beats, and the messages. You're raising some questions. Okay.
I thought of you when I did this whole thing, dude, because I've worked with some of these people. I've talked to some of these. I know I scream pogo all the time, but it's one of the better videos I've done. Little calmer Snafu, not like yelling, screaming, or granny panty shit in it. Like, this is like real deal optics. You know, just look at the optics.
You're still trying to push the limit, though, aren't you? I don't know where the rules are with the censorship.
Oh, well, yes, obviously, yes.
You're still pushing it.
But I mean, as you watched it, it kind of, I know I told you, I said it might give you a different perspective, and that's all I hoped for, you know, because I do understand where your heart and your mission is, but some of these agencies and players in the game, they're so infiltrated, it's not even funny. And I thought that maybe it would help an understanding for you to see how truly infiltrated we are on all levels.
Hey, brother, please trust that I'm not ignorant of the dark side, okay? I'm very aware of many things, okay? But this is kind of back to where I was talking about earlier. There's a lot of information out there, but each of us get to choose. What does it mean to me? You know, I know there's a lot of evil out there, and there's people who say, you know, let's face it, if this movement starts succeeding, I mean, shit, this is the stuff that people have been, what's the word? They've been suicided for.
Dang.
Thrown in jail for charges you never did. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Killed.
I mean, there's some crazy shit, but here's where I'm at. Number one, I don't really know what else to do with my time. I think ending wars somehow, some way, finding that way. I mean, it kind of gives me something to do. Keeps me from drinking, I guess.
That's noble.
You smoke weed, Jack, or no?
I do, man. Actually, that was one of the things, Christos. Oh,
Yeah.
you were one of the guys you might have been one of the guys I was thinking of. That lecture, I watched a lecture.
Hey, I saw in your chat someone said Global Witness is streaming nonsense today. Global Witness is one of the CEOs of head Microsoft, just like Adam and Dex Marfugel. So Global Witness is a POGO, privately owned, government operated. Even on his about page, if you go look at it, he brags about being a CEO with Microsoft. These people are POGOs. So Global Witness is a POGO fucktard.
Well,
What were
actually,
you saying, Jack?
two things. I've been trying to get a hold of Global Witness as well. I'd like to have some conversation. That's
I can
Derek
get a hold of
Rose,
him.
right?
When I started going after Adam, him and Adam and Jacob Israel, all of them fucking started going at me because they know they're tied with Microsoft. They're tied with fucking Big Tech.
Well,
I'll get all the Global POGO for you.
Wait, please. He said that we would talk at some time in text, but dude, this is what I mean, man. My life is so bizarre. And Snafu, you know a lot of bizarre shit too. So let's learn to relax together, all right? Hey, but back to what we were talking about. Somehow psychedelics, I thought, came up. Sorry, man. I watched a very fascinating lecture. It was either today. Oh, it was on the True Life podcast today. That George Monty guy who showed up.
Hey.
He had an interesting young lady on. She started her path in the career of science, and I didn't catch the entire backstory, but she ended up, you know, by faith pursuing kind of more of a mystic education. And the discussions they were having today were about the application of psychedelics towards healing PTSD and but actually no, it was the other lecture. The other lecture was about that similar topics, and that's the one I was thinking about you with, Christos, because you like that neuro stuff as well as the psychedelic stuff, right?
No doubt.
That's what I thought.
It's very interesting. I was talking with Pineal on OTW's stream earlier, and I brought up True Life Stories, but this is a different True Life Stories. This is not the same True Life Stories you're talking about, but one that talks about psychedelics, funnily enough. So, a little synchronicity going on there, and this is just like within the hour.
Is it really? Well,
yeah,
I was there. I heard it.
This is what I mean. This life is fucking amazing, dude. It really is. It is mystical. One of the things I started thinking about earlier, we get confused when we assume, when we think we know things. Because, man, my mind has been blown away by some of the stories I've been hearing. Now, could those stories be BS? Absolutely. Some of them could be. Many of them could be BS, but there is so much we do not know, brothers and sisters.
Hey, Jack, did you see Paul's thumbnail? He must be working on a koi pond for us.
I didn't see it.
The leader of the mermaids is you.
Is there mermaids? Oh, this guy, Merlin Sheldrake. Have you ever heard of that name?
I've heard of another Sheldrake, like Rupert, I think.
I'm wondering if they have any relations. I don't know. I just discussed. I've discovered this young man before, and I'm a huge fan of Rupert, but his work at least. Anyway, I'm dropping this link in the chat as well for those who are interested. An interesting conversation on a mushroom's view of the world. Hey Flo, how you doing today, brother?
Good. What's going on?
Man, I'm starting to really enjoy today. I really am. Where's Paul? Under the sea. I had to look at Paul's thumbnail. He's starting up pretty soon here, I think.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. I've got messing with Bluetooth and stuff in the car.
Hey, no worries. Christos, are you back, man?
I'm here.
Okay. I don't know if you heard me or not. I dropped the link in the chat. The guy I was thinking of, I thought you might enjoy, is Merlin. What'd I say? Merlin Sheldrake.
Sheldrake, yeah.
Okay.
I encourage you.
Yeah. You said in the private chat or the YouTube chat, live chat?
I did in the here. I'll do both. I did in the main chat, but it's in the private.
Yeah. If so, I can go grab it. Yeah.
It's in private as well, both places. So.
How dare Paul not give you a trident in that mermaid picture? Jack Talcott should have a trident in his hand.
I don't even see me.
Look at the thumbnail.
I'm the one on the end.
You need a trident.
I don't need a trident. I might need bigger breasts.
Well, there's many ways you could fix that, Jack.
It is the month, you know.
I really wasn't expecting that one, dude.
Dude, I wasn't expecting the breast thing in your show.
Hey, it's true though. Like the optics, man.
Hey, it's kind of an inside joke right now, but Snafu pointed, well, in the recent video Snafu released, there's images of the LGBT celebrations at the Capitol.
The flat Earth parades.
No, I'm assuming it's a trans person showing off their breasts. I'm assuming, but I don't know. And you know what? Check it out. Check it out. So
I'm just glad. You know what? I'm just glad it gave you something to think about, because I did. I was making that video thinking about you and the whole, your mission, and I was like, I know I'm always Debbie Downer, but I just wanted to show some optics, and I'm glad you watched it, Jack. I appreciate it.
Hey, the topics of the agendas of the WHO, the WEF, those are pretty important, and I do respect at least getting those topics into conversations, because I'm remembering the life I used to live, back back before I opened my mind. Holy shit, that was miserable. We've got to help people. People need to learn
how. People in chat say you deserve a trident. I think we're gonna have to let Daddy Paul know that Jack deserves a trident.
No, man. I'm just honored to be part of that. I am. I'm honored to be part of this.
Facts.
The optics are high.
Well, can we take a trip in Jack's imagination for a little bit? You guys are.
I don't know if I'm ready.
Yeah, let's get it.
The shrooms haven't kicked in yet.
Buckle
Does
up,
anyone
dude.
have any antipsychotics on hand for this? We're gonna need some fucking.
Any psychedelics available?
I can't do this while I'm driving. It's not safe for me to drive and imagine.
Actually, you know what, Flo? Yeah, I've wondered about that. I have encouraged people, though, if they smoke, do whatever that allows you to expand your mind a little bit, so it's not so resistant to what I'm offering. But I was sitting outside today in the warm, just capturing that feeling again, that feeling of life, trying to figure out what is real. Those are beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I do, Jack. This is one room here. It's nice. It's going to flower. Flowering.
Gardening is one of the things I've been intending to get to, and I know hey, here's the thing. I am so fucking lazy. I admit this. But I know there are people that know how to do things that are like so good, so easy. My mind specifically just went with growing. That connection of Aaron, his dad, the Garden of Eden, that's one place I'd point to. There's people that know how to do things.
Bro, right now is the time to start a garden. Like, you can still get it. Go buy some young tomato plants and dig a hole and throw them in.
Dude, I'm putting literally right now, I've been making excuses to avoid mowing the lawn all day.
Yeah, but fuck mowing the lawn. You don't get tomatoes for mowing the lawn.
Fuck tomatoes, grow some weed.
Here's the deal. If I knew where my life was going, if I felt some security, some consistency in where I was going, I would be more focused on a garden. But
man, who cares about that? Nobody knows where the world's going tomorrow or where their life is going. That's what faith is for.
Jack, you should do a bonsai tree and then come on live and start cutting it and mold it, karate kid it out.
I bet that's
Jack Talcott
people would watch that shit like bonsai. What's that? ASM, whatever little clipping noises.
Trimming with Jack.
If I had to guess, like if I looked at Jack and had to guess like what he was growing, I'd be like fucking peyote or something. Cactus. He looks like a cactus grower.
I do. I actually do have a cactus. I don't remember what type it is.
Yeah, I knew it. I was right. I fucking knew it. See that? I knew
that was a really good call. That was very specific and obscure.
Right.
Because I could tell he has a cactus. Look at him.
Cage, you're just looking at the optic, man.
You guys are awesome, man.
It's because you're AI, Cage, and you have access to all the metadata.
Yeah, I have access to his purchase history.
Hey, what if we are AI? What if there was an intelligence? I mean, we are AI. There was an intelligence that created us.
Or just I.
Well, are we? Are you sure about that?
I think you're absolutely on it, Jax.
How could
DNA manipulation
hold on. Let's define AI, right? Like, what's the A mean, Snafu? How could we be AI? And how would we ever even know if we were? If we were, we would have no way of knowing that for sure.
Well, I mean, we do know it because these guys, they released the patent and developed the patents are fucking out there. If you read it and you read what this nanotechnology and what they're trying to do in Neuralink and many other things, we have already been integrated into the cloud, so to speak, through cellular DNA manipulation. It's there. It's out. These patents are real. We are.
I don't even think half you motherfuckers have an I, much less an A. You might just be A's. You might just all be A's.
That means bigger titties, so I know we don't have the A and I. We don't even have the titties.
Hey, let me try and I heard some beautiful explanations, and if I can, hopefully I can try and share what made sense regarding the AI. That I've heard this explained in a few different ways, right? That there's this universe created of infinite energy and love, and there's beings of intelligence that are created at different frequencies and dimensions, and those creators, they're of limited, lesser minds than the supreme, but nonetheless they're they still have the logic and inspiration and an ability to analyze. Anyway, there's part of us and part of the entire creation that is in opposition, that divides, that wants to analyze, wants to break everything down. That's within us. But then there's the other part of us that just
Well, if you think about it, like AI, right? AI is just an intelligence created by another sentient being. So isn't that almost like believing in a god in a way? Like, you know, God created humans. So isn't that kind of like an artificial intelligence, or like, if you want to call it that, like a creation of another sentient being? So
yes. And Cage, thank you. You kind of brought me back on track to where I started, where I wanted to go regarding the programming, right? So there is an intelligence and a process which we're all a part of. And there's a way to, I believe there's a way to connect us to the programmer, to the original code. And that the way we connect to the original source code is to silence our clutter. Like, because we've picked up all these, you know, computer viruses, mind viruses and shit in our bodies. So once we allow those to settle and we recognize that we are just this experience of this moment right now, it opens us up to, I don't know, to receive the different ideas.
Field. It opens us up to the field.
Yes. To the field, and so we can feel and sense the source code, you know, the programmer, because there's a connection between each of us and everything. Holy cows.
Holy cow is right.
Well, my thought just went, how do you explain the unexplainable? I mean, because that's what
Fox Mulder, X-Files.
I think the question answers itself.
But see, there are answers. There are answers to all questions. So to explain the unexplainable, it must be experienced. So how do you share an experience? How do you explain an experience? That's what we spend our lives doing, trying to figure out how to explain ourselves and everything else.
Well, I know the flat earthers, they're bitch slapping kids to push their narrative, so that's the way they're sharing their experience.
You
I
know,
bitch slap kids all the time, but not to share the narrative. Just
right, just to bitch slap them. I get it.
respect, man.
it's like whack-a-mole. You slap one, and then it pops back up. You know, you just got to keep slapping them.
Hey, no, I
They're gonna slap the flat earth in you. Screw BLM, screw the LGBT community. Flat earthers are going hard in the paint, hands on now.
Hey, I know the reference you were talking about. I saw that, and that's unfortunate because he seems like a pretty stand-up guy. I didn't buy into all the accusations, but I saw the slip of his judgment.
Why would he post that though?
Slip of a judgment.
Because he believed his lie. He was doubling down on his lie to me and
you on that. That's a good point, Jack.
It's a good point. Thank you. It's also, I'm trying to imagine myself in that situation, in those moments. Got a bunch of fucking punk kids want to toughen up, and I know there was moments and it rose in both parts, but what do? You know? So
but you don't post it. That's the thing that's throwing me off. Is like, why?
There you go. There you go. That's the
But Flow
simplest.
State, he was trying to double down, and he really he really thought he'd get away with it. But then people like Mitch and me and others were like, "Fuck this guy," and we took a bigger look into it.
Was he live streaming at the time?
Yeah, we saw it go down, and then we confronted him, and he lied about the whole thing, and that's why they like microscope to show the lie.
Yeah, I mean,
if you start slapping kids because of Talcott, then we definitely got problems.
I told you, I slap kids for a lot of reasons. None of them have anything to do with spreading a message or anything positive. It's just a form of recreation. But yeah, he should definitely, I don't know who the dude was, but he should definitely know when it's time to just exit the situation.
Well, just know that, Jack, the Talcottians don't slap kids around to push their narrative. I don't think. Do you, Jack? You slap kids around for Talcottia?
Could we start, though? Just consider it.
I actually love kids more now than I think I ever did. Kids like...
I remember when we were talking about
somebody's going to clip that.
Black Baby. Jack Talcott, Black Baby.
A couple of things. Someone asked, and here, so I can't be accused of not showing support. Yes.
That must be a whole comment.
For those who are interested, that's the proper instruction motivates people. So looks like he started a couple minutes ago. But hey, the other thing, if you'll, my words are what they are. But today, the thought that I was really, really thinking about, God is love. We don't need a religion to know love. We actually don't even need stories about others. We just got to accept that love is there. And so I don't want to be misleading. I committed myself to the truth, right? Knowing the truth, searching for the truth, trying to learn the truth. And then I finally learned I can't learn everything. You know, time is limited. The capacity is limited. At least unless I want to dedicate a lot of effort. Anyway, love is truly the answer. Love is the answer in the religions. Love is the answer for our problems. Love is. It's immeasurable. It's undefinable. It should be. It can be. Love can become the God we worship.
Yeah, it's ground point zero, Jack. See, it's the heart
can't plant your tomatoes.
Anahata,
Hey,
the
Jack.
chakra is the heart chakra. So
Hey,
there's a reason what you're saying is true and not just some type of word salad.
Crowley said the same
you break
thing.
it down, that center middle chakra is like the most important chakra. It's like your heart's more important than your brain in some ways.
Hey, we gotta remember though, like
you gotta
remember the OTO and Thelema. Crowley said the same thing. Love under will, love is the law, same thing. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily a good thing. You know?
Hold on.
Be careful with that.
Ground point zero.
I considered that comparison as well. He was right. However, he allowed corruption and temptations. He pursued temptations with his love, and his love got distorted. It doesn't change the truth. And the truth is, love is the law. And the love reveals the truth. So to bring love to the world, it's time for disclosure.
Hold on. What kind of love? What kind of love?
The love that is experiential.
Unconditional.
I mean,
Yes.
The
okay,
hugger buddy, fucker buddy optics.
right? That's yeah. I don't know that I agree. I don't
Jack,
necessarily agree
I'll
that
stand
with that,
strong,
but
dude.
I'm gonna shut my
I
mouth.
see where you guys are talking about with the love, where Christos and Jack, but I also say, and I stand strong, love has become a weaponized tool.
Yep,
Yes.
we're
For
in the month of weaponized love right now.
Yes.
Someone just sneezed.
Love has been misunderstood, and I actually believe it's by divine purpose. I think it's fucking hilarious. I mean, when you God is here, God is all of the contradictions we can imagine are within the realm of our creator. I mean, I say God with reverence, absolute humility, and seriousness. But at the same time, I truly believe a case can be made that our creator includes a divine sense of humor. And
Yep.
we might be the joke.
I'm okay with that.
Well, I thought somewhere in the Bible it does say that we were created for the joy and delight of God.
Well, didn't like the Viking culture, whatever, believe that we were for the gods' entertainment and that you should have a life that's not boring, something along those lines? I kind of like, I don't know that I believe that, but I behave as if I do, I guess.
I believe that. Christos,
Right.
you keep trying to talk. Go ahead.
Oh
man.
no, you're good. Yeah, are you agnostic, atheist? What are you identifying as? Would you say flow state?
I would say agnostic.
Right on.
I'm not an atheist. I think there's something. I just don't think that I don't even know that I think we have the capacity to understand what it is, much less the knowledge.
I love hearing that.
And I could totally be wrong, but that's true for me, right? Like, I don't know.
Hey, Flo.
Yo.
Number one, respect. I mean, I appreciate your honesty. I used to identify with exactly what you were saying. I was comfortable not knowing. I encourage you to consider the benefit of knowing, because I trust from my own experience, when we seek to know, we find, and knowing God.
Well, I totally agree that knowledge is always better than not knowledge. I just, not.
Well,
it seems you can't just will knowledge into existence.
Well, here's I don't know how to explain it, but you do know God, and you have accepted God. I can present the case of that. God is love. You don't reject love. Sometimes you do.
I reject the claim. I mean, I reject that premise. I don't believe God is. I mean, I believe God includes love, but I don't think that statement is a whole truth.
What would convince you?
Well, I mean, I guess I come to that conclusion by looking around at the world and saying that the world creation has many more aspects than love, and that love itself, if we're talking about the warm, fuzzy feeling of affection, that's not really that high of a principle or something, and a lot of harm comes out of that as well. It's sort of a self-centered feeling.
Okay, I think I can understand. And you present the case. You're right. God can't be simplified by that love. That's an arrogant and absurd statement.
I mean, I feel like it's over reduced, maybe.
Fair enough. Absolutely. Where I'm at, though, is what I've learned for myself is everything we learn, by learning of it, there's now a connection. There's a connection between us and the thing, or us and the person, the event. So what does that connection do with me? What do I do with the information? And the more and more I started learning, the more I realized it didn't matter. Doesn't matter what I know. Doesn't matter what I remember. All that matters is what I do. And one of the things I was just thinking about earlier today, we never know. We never know if we're prepared. We never know how we're going to react. We never know what we're going to do in a situation until we actually experience it, or experience, I don't know. There was a reason I brought that up, and I can't remember why.
Something, I mean, experiencing love. You said earlier that you've experienced God and knowing God. I haven't experienced it. I don't know where you would get the knowledge, right? Except through experience.
Hey, I'm sorry. I lost myself in that train of thought. Thank you. Where I was going with that is there's tons of explanations. There's tons of religions, philosophies, and all that. I went within me and I was like, all right. So I finally, actually, I think I chose to make a choice. What do I think? I convinced myself there is a God. All right. So now what? What is the relationship between God and me? And the more and more I thought about it, how can we ever know? I won't know. I can just assume and I can just imagine. So, I mean, I was pretty resistant. I've said it many times. The Bible is the last place I went to try and understand God. But what it comes down to is how we are. And how we are is how we feel. And each moment we get to be who we are, however we want, within
Reason.
our options and limits. Yeah. So for me, Flo, when I really started breaking down and trying to understand thoughts and emotions, fear and faith, fear and confidence, whatever, they both come from thoughts in our head. So if we can allow ourselves to learn information and just allow ourselves to be, I don't know why I went there, but I started spending time imagining that God might love us. First I started to believe that Jesus was a man like us. He just had a different experience and a different education. So while I didn't have his upbringing and I didn't have his education, I wasn't on that path. I started to think, well, so what? I'm me. And I can learn how to be me better than I used to. And then I was given a lot of opportunities to be tested, honestly. I miss my family and friends. I don't really miss my job anymore. But what were you saying, Christos?
Oh, I was just kind of like humming in agreement to what you were saying there a moment ago. I mean, you're like on the lone warrior path right now in your life, like in the different stages of archetypes, kind of like tarot cards. It's like you're walking your path alone, but you're not alone at the same time there. And it's like, there's that little paradox of life. Journey. You have all these people around you supporting you eventually, even if it's on here through YouTube. That still has meaning.
Hey, and you know what? It's easy I've noticed in my past, it has been easy for me to overlook that. But I know for a fact there's many people who are sending me loving energies, those who are tuning in now and who tune in later. So I know there is a lot of support, but Christos, you're right, man. We're each on our own journeys, and that's why that the elect of God, that's why his messages, man, he knows too. I don't know his story, but he's been an inspiration. There's a lot of amazing stories and a lot of gifted, talented people that are emerging right now. Christos, you're one of those, right? What's that?
Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that. I said certainly. I definitely see it. I'd say since like 2016 specifically. It's a year I keep hearing it thrown around recently. From 2016 to now, and like Generation Z specifically, I think we're going to be surprised here in the next couple of years. I even hear something about 2027. And I'm not trying to be trolly when I say that either. I'm not saying it's like some 2012 event, but I'm just throwing that out there. But I think some of us feel it. There's some type of shift that we're on the precipice of. And it's not saying that something's going to come down from the sky and save us. That's not what we're saying. But we're still on the edge of something very profound. And it has to do with the ineffable.
Yes. And you know what? That can be so frightening, so terrifying. But at the same time, dude, if you can just accept it and this is exciting. This is fucking amazing, man, that we get to live and we get to live at this time. I don't know what's happening in the future, but hey, I need to address a couple of these comments. Oracle, I agree. Aaron has some incredible explanations to offer. He and I have not found a way to communicate as, I don't know. We've struggled in our communication, and he's certainly not blocked. He's welcome to join should he show. There's a couple others though. These dark nights of the soul, man, they're no joke. They're no joke. And you know what? We don't know what we don't know. And nobody really warned me about Dark Night of the Soul when I was young. I didn't know any of that shit. I didn't know that we were each on kind of a hero's journey, whether we like it or not. And maybe we're not. I don't know. Maybe I chose. Yeah, I made some choices. I made plenty of choices. I don't know. Oh, this one. We are in the time of ascension. We're each given we are each given a choice every single day. And we don't know when. I think we are experiencing a shift. There's some sort of build and change. There is a shift in the consciousness of humanity. Many people are breaking down because they're feeling the weight and uncertainty. Many people are afraid and alone right now. The dark night of the soul. And that's kind of why, I'm assuming, because I don't have conversations other than up here for the most part. But I remember those feelings of loneliness, man, and they suck. And I'm not going to lie, I still get in my head sometimes, man. This life is weird. But ascension, what does that mean? A raise in frequency, a raise in vibrations. Our emotions can be quantified as different levels of vibrations. And we do have, there's an energy to us. There's an auric field of energy. I mean, that's why those words are there. That's the accurate word. It's an aura of energy that surrounds us, that each of us, so we can pick up on the energies of others without even the words. And there's people who have learned how to train themselves to do that, to develop those talents. We got a new guest here. Welcome, Dylan. What a sick.
You took that down, right? You knew something was about to be shown. Okay,
What happened? I was looking away.
I'm sure I got him off the screen in time, but
You did. It was hard to tell.
Did we get dick bombed?
you know what? Praise God, man. That's just a young man whose mother didn't raise him right. Shame on her. You know what?
Shame on her.
You had
You know
your
what-
finger on the trigger, didn't you?
You know what's it probably
You had
didn't get
your
on
finger
screen though,
the
because
trigger, didn't you?
I looked over right at 1:11:11. So I think that's probably a good omen. It didn't get caught up on YouTube. And
Did you have your finger on the trigger with that, Jack? It seemed like you did.
It was a
Okay,
face
good man.
I didn't recognize. So
Good man. Because yeah, it looked like some weirdo right away.
when I saw him lowering the camera, that's when I moved.
Yep.
So
Good
hopefully,
shit. Stay on top of it.
you know, if my dick was that small, I wouldn't be trying to show it off on YouTube anyway. So, holy cows. Hey, thank you, Oracle. See, this is a life that is truly bizarre, man. Truly, truly bizarre. Humans. These are supposedly our brothers and sisters, right? Like children of the same creator.
that's your claim.
That's my
Not
claim.
all of them.
All right. Well,
Just joking. Maybe.
I don't
hey.
acknowledge that one.
Here's the thing. We are all experiencing the same moments. We all come from the same matter, the same energy, the same sunlight, air. So what do we do? I mean, my faith really my faith really is strong, because I didn't maybe I did resist this idea, Flo, but I didn't understand love. I never really stopped to consider it. And in the meantime, I spent a lot of time looking into like the work of Rumi. He's probably one of my favorites. Thich Nhat Hanh, Ram Dass, Wayne Dyer. These other people, man. God is love. And so just start trying to practice yourself. How often is love in your mind? You know, the Christians want to say, go read a book every day. Well, I say spend some time considering love and life, how those two are inseparable, how they strengthen each other. Because love really is the reason for living.
Love is life. That's the name of a song. Yeah,
Is it?
that's the name. Yeah, it's the name of a song from a Wu-Tang Clan member. Yeah. And I said that because of what you were saying there. I resonate with that shit for real too. It's just a simple little phrase, but we can have these little things that we can just kind of say or throw into our head, and it kind of reminds ourselves of something greater. And it could just be a little phrase, you know, like we use psychology, like we use chunking. So it could be like a little acronym or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're a young man. You're not even 30 yet, are you?
Yeah, I'm 25.
You're only 25, man. Hey, good for you. To have
Thank
the
you.
awareness you do, and to already know the things you've learned. Oh, I hope there's a lot more like you. I think there is too.
That's why I
I'm
said
another
Gen
young
Z.
one too.
You're
King
another
Age
young
is
one?
another.
Yeah, I'm still in my 20s too. No.
Oh, God
A
bless
bit
you.
older
Yeah.
than Christo, so but yeah.
Hey, it's an old soul. I don't know if that can be explained, or I mean if that can be proven, but it makes sense that, you know, the eternal beings may have different time frequencies. And yeah, I heard that, and I've accepted that a long time ago with me. I'm an old soul. I was always never fit in with those of my age group. Look at me today. I don't fit in.
There's those
Hey,
different classes. Go ahead, Jack. My bad.
well, I just wanted to get back to, you know, you young guys. That's the inspiration. Seeing the youth standing up and learning, breaking what was, because maybe it came down to no choice, right? There's probably a lot of that. A lot of young kids, you're either going to have to these systems are fucked. They're absolutely unjust, unnecessary, and completely destructive. How do we change this? Who the hell's in charge of this place? I want to talk to the boss. I'll be the new version of the Karen.
Oh man.
I want to go to the White House and talk to the boss. Well, right. It's not even the boss. Let me talk to a friggin' manager. Maybe a supervisor at the White House. It's got no agency.
You know, Jack, I'm not saying this to be poetic, but just because I know someone else would say it, I wouldn't necessarily say it, but someone would say we are, we are the ones running this place. Like in a layered way, I'll suggest. Thinking about Paul and what he's doing with, sovereignty and like truth, freedom, like it's deep.
We are the ones that are breaking the patterns. And on a deep metaphysical level, yes, Christos, you're right. It's all us, right? I am responsible. I am the only one in my experience. I am responsible for the state and the destruction of the world. I'm just trying to figure out what to do to clean it up.
You're doing the right thing so far, Jack. We just gotta follow the thread.
I mean, but people can only be responsible for things that are within their realm of control, right? So the whole state of the world, like I understand on a
example,
right, but on an abstract scale, I understand like the I'm responsible for everything mindset, but really in day-to-day life, we're only responsible for the things in our day-to-day life.
Well,
yeah, no one said we're responsible for the whole world, but we're still jacked in as this whole collective. We're still some respective piece of this whole thing. So there's a responsibility to the whole, to some degree.
And it's easy to recognize responsibility of actions, but I feel responsible for inactions as well. And when I used to carry, I ignorantly assumed the responsibility that I had to get these ideas somewhere. And when I did that, it fucked me in the head. So now my faith is, it's with God. But my goals haven't changed. I still carry the responsibility that I have. The logic is there. The logic is sound. When secrets are no longer legal, then the illusions of authority crumble. when the illusions of authority crumble, there's no more, paid enforcement. And without the willing and compensated enforcement, well, then the debts go away. We can, and without authority and debts, well, then we can have equality in the workplace, equality and equal communication within the community and governance, the administration of resources. Anyway, regardless what is, the logic is sound. When secrets are no longer legal, God's truth, the truth, will be able to reign supreme. And when the truth reigns supreme, man, people are gonna love
soundbite.
You're on to something, honestly, Jack, because Cage was showing me the other day this talk called Magic Without Fear. And it kind of was like that video that I believe you even got shown by us at one point, where it was Dr. Persinger talking about
no more secrets.
No more legal, no more secrets. Just like no more legal secrets, very close to what you would say. And then there's this other thing, just like you say, live without fear. This other video or lecture was magic without fear. And it's just kind of a strange little, parallel synchronicity going on there.
Is that good though? I mean, is it worth checking out? Magic Without Fear?
It's my friend's podcast, yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, he's really good at this kind of stuff. Like, he's really deep into it. But yeah, did you ever watch the rest of that No More Secrets, Jack? I remember we played a couple minutes on here a while ago.
Yeah, I got a copyright claim on it for that little bit, man.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they just notified me. Yeah, whatever. That one's yes. But I went back and watched it, and it was I think I talked about it too. Brilliant discussions, man. I love listening to brilliant lectures. Honestly, this is what I realized about myself. I'm confident because of what I know, but I can't explain it like the experts I've learned from. And so nobody understands. Many people get confused when I try and explain this shit.
Maybe your skill set is in collecting debts, like the gangster I saw come out last night.
Hey, that's negotiation.
See,
I am an excellent negotiator. This is what I mean. The union in my background prepared me for this. I want to somehow offer my services to try and help negotiate peace somehow, somewhere.
I think personally, I would love to learn negotiation. Like, that would be interesting.
As I said,
do you know how to do it formally, or is there, because I can argue, I can be pushy.
Well, and that's just it. As I'm making this claim, I'm going back, and I should probably, there's that Dunning-Kruger effect, maybe, right?
Right.
I've got some skills claiming I'm great, but
I mean, you've done it. You've done it.
Yes.
And that's,
yes. Several in many different ways. And this is what I mean. I just need a chance. I just need the opportunity to get in front. I've been trying to be an advocate here in Spokane to try and it doesn't matter. Something's going to change, and I'm excited.
That's for sure. Everything changes. That's the one thing you can count on.
Well, amen. But the thing I convinced myself to believe is that everything I experience is for me. Nothing happens to me anymore. I mean, I got to remind myself sometimes because there's things I don't enjoy. I don't like some of the things that I've been experiencing, but if we can convince ourselves that every day happens for me, because it's true. The world is created for me, for you, for us. And each day is revealed to us brand new. A little kind of the same, but different. And so each day we get to do that, you know, the spiritual baptism. We get to reassess ourselves from the past, commit ourselves to better things, and start each day anew. And I started doing that and convincing myself that everything was happening for me. And if I'm responsible for everything, then I'm free to choose anything, right? I abide by the laws and the rules and the wishes of those around me. Wishes for the most part. I share respect as best I can. And honestly, I think this is how we're supposed to live. I don't think it's supposed to be so fucking complicated. And I don't think we're supposed to have to work 60 hours a week. I think we're supposed to, well, again, the results are, I can make the case that I'm right, and the case can be made that I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that this is how we're supposed to live. I'm following the way of the Christ. It's not complicated. It's pretty simple. The results, however, admittedly have been questionable in my case. But what am I saying? I'm blessed.
It's in progress.
I am so blessed. I'm surrounded by you guys, and I got others that are there. So I am so blessed.
You're part of something greater.
We are. We are that which is great, that which is happening. We are the happening that is.
Exactly. We're a part of the field. You know, we're intrinsically intertwined with it.
And it'll never be the same because of us. I'm sorry, man. Yes, Christos. It's just beautiful.
It is, brother.
Hey, you know what? This has been fun, but I think I'm going to wind it down. Because my purpose, what I wanted, was to share some inspirations and guys, you guys have been wonderful. Fun energy, philosophical, and the chat tonight too. Holy cow, it's been beautiful energies. Hey, right, I just saw
Who's the
that.
most beautiful of the three of us on the panel? Rank us from most beautiful energy to least. Sorry, Cage.
I'll take the third place. Fuck it.
Really goofy.
Oh my god. Hey, what if?
I've been watering.
What
You
if?
can water your skull so your energy gets better.
Hey, Flo, what if life really is simple? What if we've actually been complicating our lives far worse than we had to?
I think it is simple.
And what if there's a God who loves us, that actually wants to see us succeed, see us abundant, see us healthy?
What if everything is exactly as it's supposed to be?
I believe it is. And I believe we're here to improve it.
Hold on a second. What just happened there? I see what happened there.
I don't know what I missed.
Well, I mean, you just contradicted yourself in the next breath. Everything is as it's supposed to be, and we're supposed to change it.
Yes. Yes. Perfection has been revealed for us, and I believe the Creator has the faith in us that we will continue to improve it.
Do you think that we would have? I don't think that we even could do wrong in the eyes of God if we tried.
I believe that opinion as well. That only that which is allowed by God can happen. So if it's not allowed, it will not happen. We are allowed to hurt each other. We're allowed to do some sick and cruel and disgusting things. People are doing it every day. And I feel guilty knowing and not doing. But
you should feel guilty for not getting those fucking tomatoes planted.
Actually, you know what? I should wrap this up and try and get I should wrap this up and get the lawn mowed.
Right on. Thanks, Jack. I'll hop on out here.
Hey,
I'll see myself out too. Later, guys.
Respect. Thank you. Cage.
I was in the other room. Yeah, much love, Jack. See you, brother.
Hey, thank you, brother. Have a beautiful night. Brothers and sisters, those who joined in tonight in the chat on the panel, thank you. I felt a beautiful evening energy tonight. Feeling good. Life is good. I feel good. Good things are happening, right? And brothers and sisters, we are. It's humbling and confusing, and, you know, if you can accept the paradox, the contradictions within your mind, because a mature mind can. A mature mind, you know, a controlled mind, a tempered mind, it can allow contradictions to be without the engagement and with the purpose of finding resolve. So if you can recognize that everything may not be what it seems, allow yourself a little bit of doubt. Stay curious, stay grateful, right? Things may not always be as they seem, and things could always be worse. I mean, I'm not saying that to make excuses, but I do remind myself that quite often. You know, it helps me remember my blessings. So if you can allow the contradictions within your mind, you know, choose the right comparisons for the right time to bring the pure thoughts, the thoughts of love. And I meant to get this out earlier. If God is love, keep love in your mind. Keep love in your answers. Keep love in your actions. Keep love in your day. And love. I'm sure we'll talk about love again another day. But in the meantime, brothers and sisters, I want to thank you again. Wish you peace, blessings, choose love, and live without fear.